Coming up on this week's episode, postpartum body dysmorphia, a product of our minds or the media. Is getting a dog before you have a baby ever the right choice? What you should really say to a pregnant woman? Plus, Heather's breasts get a comeback story even Netflix would greenlight.
I'm Heather.
I'm Jess, and this is Just Us Gals. Hello, and thank you for tuning in to episode 4 of Just Us Gals. And today we have a special gal in the mix, one of my besties and broadcast babe out in Saskatoon. We have Stephanie Massicotte. Steph, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to finally be on the podcast.
Yes, special guest. So if you are in Saskatoon, you probably have heard her on Saskatoon Morning on CBC Radio 1. She also hosted a morning show on TV for many, many years, which is actually where we met. So I think, we met over 10 years ago. We were both in the media circuit in Saskatoon, and we were actually set up on a blind date. So 10 years later,
Together?
Here we are. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were.
Well, like friends?
Not romantic, but it was, as we both have husbands, but it was a coworker out at CTV Lethbridge who she knew we were both in Saskatoon. She's like, hey, I think you guys would hit it off.
Oh, cute. I love that.
She was right.
Yeah, so right. Look at you guys now.
I know.
Look at us now, besties.
Look at us now.
Hitting it off.
So Steph just wishes she could get rid of me.
Tried.
But I'm pesky like that. All right, Steph, we like to start every episode off with a win or loss of the week, a parenting win or loss. So you have a nearly 2-year-old. He's 2 next week. So happy birthday, Archer. What are you dealing with right now, Steph?
Oh, he's like, I'm just dealing with, and I saw it on social media all the time, and now I get it. Like, I'm dealing with the doing things exactly the way he wants it. Mm-hmm. Like, you want a banana? Do you want it peeled? Do you not want it peeled? Do you want half peeled? Do you want me to help you? You want it yourself? You want it in a bowl? You want it in a dish? You want a straw
yellow
cup?
dish?
You want a sippy cup? Oh, you want my Stanley?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, it's just trying to figure out exactly what he wants so that we don't have a meltdown, because if he melts down at the end of the night, I'm probably also going to melt down. So it's just trying to like make everybody happy. And I honestly find my biggest loss every week is my poor innocent dog. I feel like she gets just the
short end of the
stick. Yeah, like
I feel that.
I get home from work and I try to take her for a walk in the afternoon, but half the time I'm exhausted because I work a morning show and I just want to nap before daycare pickup, and then evenings I don't always have time, and I'm trying to get dinner ready and she wants to go outside, and she's always the one that I'm like, oh, Josie, like, but I feel for her, this poor dog. But anyway, that's what I lost.
Same page.
Griswold's life has improved, I would say, within the last year of like Parker turning 3.
He said this to me.
Yes, right? Like Steph actually felt really bad for Griswold. Steph and her husband left, they were visiting, and they're
Why
like,
did I feel bad, Jess?
Well, I don't know. Why did you feel bad, Steph?
Because you and Mark said it wouldn't be the worst thing if he just like wasn't here. And Kelsey and I were like, do we put him in the car with us?
Do we need to rescue him?
Oh my God.
I'm obsessed with him. He's my prince now.
And he said this last time he came to visit you. We were like, wow, Grizz has turned back into the #1 child.
So tell Josie things will look up soon.
I wish I could show you her here right now. She could care less. She's like curled on the couch, fast asleep.
So good girl.
Dobby has had a rough go. Like a lot of people come to my friends would come over, and it reminds me of what you were saying about when you saw Griswold. My friends would be like, do you even like Dobby? And I was like, I don't know if I do anymore. Like,
hard to
say. Do I want to pick up all of his poops? No. Do I want to clean up all of his fur? No. Do I want to walk him when it's -30? No. And I think back to like when he was my only child, like when he was my baby, I would do anything for him. But then you have kids and you're like, I'm so sorry. But now my heart is just like, what a good boy. Like, he's been through so much with us, and he was so patient. So, you know, they're
Mark
there.
always
They
says,
love you.
I hope so. Mark always says, he's like, oh, Griswold had a first great couple years before the girls were born, and then a rough middle, and now in his senior years, he's living his best days.
I'm getting better with
I want to
Dobby, too.
pop out another kid ASAP so that poor.
This is for you, Josie.
Yeah, so she's still young because she's only 4, right? So if I could pop out another kid pretty soon, and then she could have some
Another rough couple years.
younger years still in her before she's an old lady.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, so speaking of you may melt down. Tonight I had a bit of a meltdown because bedtime took an hour and a half, and Emmy, my nearly 6-year-old, was still wide awake. And so my girls need me to sit and lay with them every single night before bed. And it's frustrating as hell, especially when they're not going to sleep. Anyways, I guess I have a bit of a mom win because she eventually put herself to sleep, but she was not happy about it. And I was a mean mommy tonight. And I feel so bad about it. I apologized. I made up. And anyways, stroking her hair, and she was okay with me going downstairs, very reluctantly okay with it, but she did. So my loss kind of turned into a win, but overall it's still a loss because I had my meltdown tonight trying to put the girls to bed. I think I need to buy a parenting, a sleeping course, guys.
But I also think it's hard for you because oftentimes if Mark's away, you're doing it all on your own. Mm-hmm. That's a lot with 2 kids because you can't split yourself in half. You're one person.
No, but what I did, so up until, actually it's been this way for about 6 months. I now put the girls, because we co-sleep, I put them to bed in my bed together.
Oh, smart.
So Parker fell asleep about 7:45, which is awesome, but Emmy was wide awake. And then when I went downstairs and I basically said, fuck it. And I went downstairs. I didn't say that to her, but in my mind, I'm like, I got to get out of here. I'm getting frustrated. I need to leave the room. And this was before I started turning into a mean mommy. But she was screaming in the bedroom, screaming next to Parker, which is why while Parker's asleep. And I went in and I was like, have you lost your mind? All the lights were on. She's screaming at the top of her lungs. And so I actually just put her in her bedroom and she read a book. She figured it out. So it's good. So anyways, that's my hack, Steph, because before it would take 45 minutes to an hour to put Parker down, and then I'd have to go put Emmy down, and then it was late, and it's so, any moms out there who are doing it alone, I get it. I see you. It's tough. Bedtime is hands down the worst time of the day.
I still get anxiety over it.
My girls used to be independent sleepers, and now they cannot cope without somebody in their bed, and I need a sleeping course. It's just ridiculous now. So, anyways, Heather, how are you doing? How are you doing this week?
My kids go to bed on their own in their own separate rooms, and I still stress about it every single night because you just do not know what's going to pop up. So it's
tough.
Maybe one day it'll get easier, but for now, no. For me, I had a win, I would say, more on a personal side of things.
We're all for wins here because it doesn't happen often.
Yes. Yeah. No. This is a big win for me in the sense of I started kind of fitting for the episode of talking about you're taking care of yourself at some point. I decided to start going to the gym again, and I found a gym that does that watches your kids while you work out.
Ooh.
Huge win.
What?
Yes. So I
don't
brought
find that often.
Both. No. And I was like, how is this not more normal? Because I brought both of my girls to the gym, and they both went to this, it's called Little Movers, little area they could go play in. And I could just go work out and do my thing. They take them for an hour and a half if you need it. And I got to go work out, and it's great because I don't feel guilty, because before, when I used to go to the gym, I'd feel guilty leaving the kids with my husband and me going to do something for myself, just being like, hey, goodbye, watch the kids. I felt guilty about that, so I would normally go during their nap times or whatever worked out like that, which wasn't always convenient for me because then my husband's like, well, I'm gonna have a nap, and I'm like, well, I'm tired and I want a nap, but this is my only time to go do this, so I'm gonna go do it. But now I can take them, and then my husband actually gets a break, and I don't feel guilty whatsoever because he gets
And they're
like
probably
an hour and a
excited
half
to come
break.
with mom.
They
Yeah,
are
and, like,
so
play.
excited today. They said they had so much fun and they can't wait to go back. So
No way.
big win for me. It was like I found like a new little thing that we can do Saturday mornings together, and I loved it. I was so excited about it. So
That's a huge win.
the little wins, I was excited about that. It's a win for me.
Wins. Oh, good for you. Good for you. And actually that blends perfectly into our episode where we're talking all about those post-baby bods. Gotta love them. I don't know. Gotta hate them. I'm not so keen on mine right now. It's a work in progress. But Steph, one thing I've always appreciated about you is your body positivity. I don't think I have ever heard you say a negative thing about your body up until you had a baby. And then we were chatting in your car after we were at Dutch Growers, one of our favorite shopping experiences in Saskatoon. And you weren't loving the way that clothes were fitting you. So maybe can you dive a little bit into your experience and maybe where you are now?
Yeah, like I feel like I was very fortunate growing up. Like there was never any pressure put on me by like my mom or anyone for my body. Like I did grow up figure skating and dancing, so there was always kind of stuff in the background, but I also grew up with brothers, so I knew to kind of just toss that stuff aside. And I was fortunate too, like I was a very active child, so like I feel like I was fit. So that never really bothered me. Obviously, you go to like university of the freshman 15, you have like ups and downs, but it wasn't anything too dramatic, I guess.
And
So
when you're like 18 and 19, you can lose that like overnight.
I could just,
Yeah.
I don't know, not eat McDonald's for one night and lose 5 pounds. So
Yeah.
anyway. But
RIP to those days.
I mean, don't get me wrong, there were times where I thought like, oh, I'm fat, but then you
Yeah.
look back at photos and I'm like, God, I wish I still had that body.
Oh,
But
I
yeah.
feel that way. Yeah.
So I feel really lucky that way, and I've always been into fitness too. So like spin classes and bar. I teach bar now, and then when I got pregnant, I actually felt really good too. Like I felt like still tiny even though I was pregnant, which I know also isn't.
You
that's
looked
like a whole
fantastic
other-
pregnant.
Okay, I also loved being pregnant.
You
I
looked
thought-
fantastic. I was literally, well, Heather, you also looked fantastic pregnant. I was like, you
Yeah.
could feel the earth shake as I was coming up for my pregnancies. Vroom, vroom.
But can I argue? On the flip side of things,
Yes.
Jess and I got pregnant, 6 weeks apart with our first kids. And I was very jealous that you were showing and I wasn't.
That's true.
Because you had a baby, but all I wanted so badly was to have this bump to show I was growing life. And I had nothing. And it drove me insane. All I wanted was just a little bit of just like to look like I was pregnant. Drove me nuts.
One of our male coworkers, bless his heart, said something to you, Heather. What do you remember what he said? It was something about you eating or you're he's asked like why you don't have a bump yet or something like
Yeah,
that.
there was this is, I mean, it kind of speaks to like why I always err on the side of not saying anything to someone when they're pregnant about their size, is because I was actually having issues with Penny's, my first kid's, growth. So I was like going in for ultrasounds every 2 weeks to make sure she was growing properly. And someone had made a comment to me about how like, oh, you're so tiny. Are you sure you're even pregnant? Ha ha ha. And I'm like,
that was it.
this is actually a real fear of mine is that, is my baby growing? And like, I know that in their minds it's innocent and they think that it's like, oh my gosh, like you look so great. And it's like, but that's not a good thing. Do you know what I mean? Like I wanted to be showing, I was so scared my baby wasn't growing. So for someone to say to me like, you don't even look like you're pregnant. And I'm like, oh my God, I am.
And then on
This
the
is terrifying.
flip side, sorry, Steph, we'll get back to your story here, but on the flip side, just sidetrack. I still have 2 months left of my pregnancy, and somebody else at the office was like, "Oh, any day now," and I'm like, no. I was just like I said, I was huge, but like healthy baby cannot complain. Like, right?
Yeah.
So,
Also,
Anyways,
like,
you both looked
different heights,
fantastic.
different bodies. Yeah, you cannot compare yourself to other
No.
pregnant.
The way you're carrying.
Which is so
way
easy to
carried.
do.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, like, a lot of people at bar and stuff would always be like, you're so tiny, which I was like, thanks. But then later I had a friend who was pregnant, and same thing, she was measuring really small, and people would say the same thing to her, you're so tiny, and she'd be like worried and stressed. And that never really crossed my mind because I wasn't going through that. And I was like, yeah, that's fair. Like, not, you should never really comment on a woman's body, period. That's a whole other topic of discussion. But like, I get it now where people think they're being kind, but they don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. So it's kind of, I don't know, but I felt like really good my whole pregnancy. And I had a scheduled C-section. So like literally up until the last night I was going to be pregnant, I was like, I feel great. Like, I feel awesome. I had Archer. And then I remember doing our newborn photos, and I put on a pair of jeans that I had before I got pregnant, and they like did up and were a bit big on me. And I remember being like, wow, like the body's insane. Like, I just had a baby. I even remember looking in the mirror after my C-section and being like, it's like they took the baby out and my stomach just went like, whoop, back to normal. And I was like, this is awesome. Like, my arms were, I felt like I had like the mom arms, like my arms were toned, like, rewind though, my son was for a week. So like that was also probably stress and not eating or taking care of myself. Body dysmorphia, where I'm like, you look awesome. You were unhealthy and unwell.
Yeah. That's like having a kid in the ICU. You wouldn't wish it on your worst enemy, right? The stress.
No. The stress and just like, not eating, not taking care of yourself, just focusing on them. But I remember putting these jeans on and being like, that's so awesome. Like, I feel great about myself. And it wasn't until like the 5-month mark, I think, where like nothing was fitting me. And I'm like, I'm 5 months postpartum. I fit into my jeans 2 weeks postpartum. So like, what is happening?
Like, you felt like you were getting bigger.
I was getting bigger because nothing was fitting. So I was just so frustrated. And then like my arms felt bigger. I like never wanted to show my arms. And like this whole time I'm planning a wedding for August. My son was born in April. So like, August of the following year. So I have like a year and a half to get ready for my wedding. But I think that contributed to my body dysmorphia because I was so set on what I wanted to look like on my wedding day. And I just wasn't getting there no matter what I did, like cutting out food, cutting out alcohol, going to fitness classes, like going to spin classes. And my weight just like fluctuated so much. And it still does. Like, I wouldn't say I'm happy with my body now either. I think I've just like settled with it. But yeah, I would look in the mirror and think like I looked fat or I looked like I'm just not great. And then even looking at photos of myself, like my engagement photos, I thought I looked awful. And now I look back at those engagement photos and I think I look great. So it's just like this weird body dysmorphia that I'd never dealt with as a teenager. And I'm so grateful I never had to deal with it when your like frontal lobe isn't fully formed, because I can't even imagine that. Because at least now I know like I could talk sense into myself. But yeah, it is a wild ride.
Can I ask, like, what was there a point when you realized like that you're like something's wrong with the way you're thinking about the way you see yourself? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, I think it was so I stopped pumping, trying to nurse around 5 months.
You were a pumping warrior.
Like 5 months. And I think that's when my like weight fluctuated, because I wasn't pumping, but I was still like eating like I was a nursing mom, and I'm not. And so obviously you're not burning those calories. And anyway, I think it was a few months after that I went to go out and I was like, well, I'll just try on this pair of pants and they fit. But I was like, okay, well, then what's wrong with your brain? Because like if you can physically do these pants up and they fit you, you're the same size as you were.
Yeah.
So like what's not lining up? And the pants I had bought when I was like a bit bigger were like I was drowning in them now. So I was like, hey, you're obviously back to pre-body or pre-baby body. Maybe not as toned, or like maybe everything doesn't look as tight, but like things do up, things fit the same. So you're the same size. But I think that's when it was.
Yeah. I think there's something that could be said about that is your body changes after you have a baby, right? Like, yeah, you may fit into the same clothes, but it just looks different.
Different parts are shaped differently. Different parts are looser, even if you are still fitting certain things.
Ribs change, your hips change, your boobs change, your like face changes. Like I find like I notice more of like a double chin, which I'm over now, but for a while it was bothering
Which I'm over now, but yeah, you have to adjust to it, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
and then sometimes I look back at old photos, especially with my arms. I don't know why my arms were such a big deal. Maybe it was the wedding, maybe it was like knowing what my dress looked like and knowing like what I wanted my body to look like. I'm like, oh, my arms are so much fatter than they used to be and like saggier. And then I look back at photos, I'm like, your arms look the exact same. Like you've never had Michelle Obama arms, nor are you ever going to have them. So I don't know where in my mind I thought like I had these ripped arms. It's just not the way my body's shaped. But then in my head I was like, where are these mom arms everyone talks about?
Right. Yeah. And would you say now you're able to like totally recognize that like that is the way you were viewing yourself was off, and you're seeing yourself through like a clearer lens now? And okay.
And I think that was the thing with using the term body dysmorphia, because like I would look in the mirror and see one thing, I'd look at photos and see one thing, and then a week later I could look at the same photo and be like, oh, you looked great.
I think that's so relatable.
Yeah.
I honestly, I feel like that too.
Yes. Like your mind just plays tricks with you.
Yeah. Right? I don't know. But I will say, like, for me personally, after having Emmy, I don't want to use the term bounce back because that's not what my body does. I know some women can, but I eventually within the year, got back to my, more or less my pre-baby body. But then after I had Parker, like things really went off the rails, and I have like weird rolls in places I didn't have rolls. Like I'm just squishier. I can't quite get back to what feels comfortable for me, no matter how hard I try. And the only time I really ever see results is if I eat like a squirrel and literally just eat lettuce morning, lunch, and dinner time, right?
And then you're not happy.
It's not good.
Yeah, and then you're not happy because you're hangry all the time. And I'm like, this is no quality of life. And I personally love food. I love a good meal, right? So like, I'm not going to deprive myself of that joy.
No.
But it's hard, right? It's a fine line. And I feel like mid-30s now, and I just like, it's harder to take weight off, but it's easier to gain it. And it's just, I'm still kind of finding that balance now, that post-baby balance, but also that mid-30s, your body's kind of changing balance.
Well, and that's the other thing too. Baby or no baby, I'm pushing 40. Like my body isn't the same as it was when I met you at like 25.
And
totally different.
Nor should it be, right?
No.
Like, so I don't know.
So, I don't know. And Heather, do you have girls?
I do. I have 2 girls.
So this is the thing I think about too. Like I have a son, but I'm still conscious of it. But I was really conscious of it when I was visiting my friend in London, and her little girl came in, and I was doing my makeup, and she was like, "Oh, what's this? What's this?" Because my friend she doesn't wear makeup. She never has. She's like a natural beauty. Love her, hate her, whatever.
She's flawless. Gotta love Danielle.
I love her.
Yeah.
She's flawless.
Yeah.
But it's because honestly, she just like can't do makeup to save her life, and just never went there, never decided to learn whatever.
And it works for her.
It works for her. And her daughter's like asking me all these questions, and I'm very conscious of it because I'm like, oh, I'm just putting some stuff on for my dark circles. She's like, well, why do you have to cover them up? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't. I just like to. Like, I was very careful with my words because I didn't want to be like, oh, dark circles, I hate my dark circles, or I hate this.
Yep.
And even when I was trying on some like clothes, I think Isabel was in the room too, and there's so much I wanted to say to Danielle, like, oh, like I hate this, like I feel so fat, and like, oh, my like, this isn't the size, like, but I was very conscious, and I can only imagine as like a mom of two girls, both of you, like, not
Daily.
very careful with your words because it sticks for them.
For me, when I'm putting on makeup, I say, I want to be fancy. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, mom just feels like being fancy today.
Yeah. I said like, oh, Uncle Kelsey and I are going on a date, so I just want to like look a little fancier. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell because I have the same thing. And my daughter Penny likes to put on makeup too, and she's 5, and I'm not going to stop her from doing it. She loves doing it. And so, and because of the way what I say to her is that I do it because it's fun. I like doing it. It's part of my morning routine. You know, I get ready for the day. This is part of me getting ready for the day. And I've told her, I'm like, I don't have to do this. Of course I don't, but I want to because it's relaxing for me. You know, I just tell her it's just, and it is and that's not a lie. I actually enjoy doing it. I like getting ready for my day. And a part of that is a big thing for that is that in between having my 2 kids, there was a stretch of time where I just like woke up, didn't do my hair, didn't do my makeup, stayed in my pajamas all day, and it did not do so well for my mental health. Like, it was not the greatest time for me, and so having that routine for me in the morning really helps set this tone for me and what I like doing. So I'm not lying to her when I say I like doing it. It's fun for me, and it's, you know, it's part of my routine. And so she does it sometimes. I mean, I have had to tell her, which is a whole other conversation too, is it's like, do you let your 5-year-old wear makeup like to day home,
Right,
or whatever? And you know, I let her, she wants to do little sparkles and a little bit of, like, she put on red lipstick for dance the other night, and I'm like, you know what, you look great, that's fantastic. But
I'm of the same mentality, Heather. Like, if they want to every now and then, like, I'm not going to make it a daily thing, but I don't know. If
my
you
thing
wanna
is
feel fancy
time.
every now and
like,
then.
I'm not going to wait for you to do your makeup and you're going to be late
Or
in the morning.
nor do I have the time to help you right now, right? So like, we can do that later.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, no, it's, and the other thing that I think it's almost helped is checking myself with saying things like, oh, I look like crap today, or oh, like I can't, like, you know, and then I stop and I'm like, I don't want my kids to hear me saying that about myself. Like, I have to rephrase the way I'm thinking about myself, because and then it makes you think. It's like, I do not want my daughters to think about themselves that way. So why am I thinking about myself that way? You know, and I'm not there yet. It's going to take a little bit more work. It's just such a natural thing to like look at yourself and pick yourself apart, unfortunately. But then I just do not want my kids to do that. So I need to stop doing it. But you have to relearn it. It's a totally new way of thinking.
We want to hear your story on your post-baby bod, but it kind of bleeds into, you had your boobs done. So what do you think, how are you going to communicate that with your girls if they ask?
That's a good question. So I have thought about that. So, but basically, 5 months ago, I had a breast augmentation. Not for a reduction or anything. My 2 kids sucked the life out of me. So I've always been smaller chested. I did not mind it in the slightest until I had kids. And then after breastfeeding, I was literally ribs. That's all I had. It looked like I was a boy going through puberty. So, and nothing, absolutely
That's
nothing.
not a fun feeling to have, right?
No, I didn't feel good. I hadn't let my husband see me in many, 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 many months, and I was just not comfortable. And, you know, I was like, this is what I want. And I just want to feel comfortable in clothes again and feel better about, and I knew this would make me feel better about myself. So I did it. I got a boob job. And I have zero regrets. I'm very happy with it. Yeah, I love the way my clothes fit me. I didn't really have to buy anything new. It's just my clothes fit me better now, which is kind of funny how that works. I was just imagining like, oh, I'm going to have to get a whole new wardrobe. But no, I was like, oh no, I have to go shopping. But no, I was like, when I was finally able to raise my arms up and try my clothes on, I was like, oh crap, everything still fits me, which is a good thing, but it just fits better. But I have thought about it, and I've also had thoughts about this, about my nose. I'm very insecure about my nose, and I thought about, if I got a boob job, couldn't I get a nose job? But here's my thoughts on that. Is if I got a nose job and if my daughters grow up to have my nose and they know that my mom got rid of it, she got rid of her nose, how do I explain that to them? There's no, except for like literally what I was given.
Her nose is so bad, maybe my nose is bad.
Maybe mine is. Whereas with the boob job, that's the worst way of calling it, the breast augmentation. The reason why
we're classy
did it,
here. I got it.
Yeah, my booby job. Is literally because breastfeeding destroyed them. And that is, and you know what? If my kids want to do that themselves, go for it. I really do whatever you want. But I'm a big thing for like anything that I can fix on my own, I will, but my kids sucked the life out of me. So so that's my justification for it. I will be totally honest with them and let them know that like once after I breastfed 2 kids, I was left with absolutely nothing, and I wanted to do it. So if you want to,
and I did it for me.
It was
like, 100%
for me.
I did it for myself.
No, there was no other consideration for that except for I wanted it, and I am very happy with it. And I was old enough to do it and make the decision. It wasn't something young me. It was like, let's get a boob
And your
job.
body was done changing. Like you had went through puberty. You had your 2 kids. You were done
35.
having kids, I'm assuming, and like you're like, okay, this is it. I'm good. This is the decision I'm making.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the only way to go about doing that. Is you got to be old enough. Your body's got to be done doing what it's got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like on the flip side, like I know somebody who wants to get a breast reduction because big boobied mamas out there, like once you're done nursing, oh my God, it's just like, it's a horror show. It's ridiculous what happens. It's like a balloon full of nickels. Like, if you hold a balloon up, it's like a balloon full of nickels. It's just like, I don't know. That's something like mine also got the life sucked out of them, but I feel like I'm okay with them. For now, but there are mamas in my life who want that done, and all the power to you, right? It's like Steph said, it's for you. If we're done, if we know we're done having kids, then why not?
Yeah. Well, and honestly, like if I was one and done, I would be considering a reduction because my boobs, like, and I know like everyone says this. This is also a pet peeve of mine. I say like, oh, my boobs got big, pregnant, and they never went back down. Everyone's like, oh, wah. Well, okay. But like, I don't want huge boobs. Yeah. But I'm like, I don't like how my tops fit because like, I feel like broad and like a linebacker, like coming, like,
I
boobs and
I
then,
can
like,
relate with that.
Tops don't look cute. I look like a 40-year-old mom who's like, trying to dress like it's just like not great, but I know I'm wanting to expand my family more, so I'm like we're just gonna live with it, and who knows, maybe the next child will be able to nurse and will suck like a little life out of me, and then I'll be happy with them. Like we don't know, so it's like until I'm done having kids, like so wait 100%. And see.
Yeah,
totally. Until you're done having kids. Yeah, wait to make those decisions, and maybe like I could definitely afford a lift. Maybe it'll be in my future, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, Steph, I can relate with that. On like, you just feel so like broad chested, right? Like it's just like totally like. But I've always been on the bigger side, so like it's just it's
and that's like new to me. Like I wasn't small, but I wasn't big. I was just like average always. And so now having big boobs, I'm like. And I don't have any like bras that fit me properly, and anyway, that's a whole other.
Oh God, bras! Mine's falling apart.
It's so
you're like my mom.
Shocking to me the things that you don't expect to change after having a baby and that change.
Well, and I have to remind myself too, like I had a baby and then like shortly after I went back on birth control. So it's like, well, that's also changing your body. Like I currently have hormones like running through my body. So when I get my IUD out, like my body could change again.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
So like, who knows?
I know.
Who knows,
Our body is
right?
going
Nobody
through so
knows.
much.
Yeah.
The other thing too
Anybody's
is
best guess.
is how toxic the bounce back culture is.
Oh,
You know, it's like there's so much pressure to have a baby and then like 3 months later be like, look at me, I look like I've never had a baby and that's what you're supposed to look like. And it's like, that's insane because
and
you've just
you feel
put
like
your
you
body through so
failed.
much.
Also,
Yes.
like,
Totally.
Sorry, that's what you were supposed to look like when we were supposed to have babies when we were 14.
Right.
Like way back in the day.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
when you were supposed to like get your period and then start having babies.
Right.
Of course, we're going to bounce back at like 14, 15, 16.
know.
But like,
Which we do not condone.
We're not having
no,
babies at
also,
that
like,
age. Yeah.
I waited a long time to have children. So like, my body's it's not going to bounce back. Like
No.
even like
Yeah,
if I had had my kids in my 20s, which like a lot of women do, like I can't compare myself to my friends who had kids 10 years ago and how they bounced back. But I also can't compare myself to some of my friends who have babies now we're the same age because like one of my friends is 5 feet tall. Her body's going to bounce back different. My other friend is like 5'10" and like an Amazonian goddess. Like she didn't even look pregnant when she was like 9 months pregnant because she has like a massive torso for the baby to like expand instead of like expand. Like anyway, you can't compare.
And our body compositions are different too, right? So
Yes.
yeah.
But it's so, like social media is like it's so toxic sometimes.
Okay, you know what's crazy to me is after I had my second kid, I was being targeted with ads for like, join this program, join this weight loss thing to get your body back after having a baby. And I was just reading stuff and being like, are you kidding me? Like, I was
pretty
like
aggressive.
2-3 weeks postpartum. I promise you, I was not Googling how to bounce back after having a baby. And
That's
this
the
is
last
what
thing on your
my
mind at that
social
point.
media feed was, and my ads were targeting me. I was like, this is crazy. Like, this is so toxic that they're like, people are trying to like, they're selling stuff at me because they think, you know, oh, so they're going to buy it because they want to bounce back. That's just, it's dark is all that it is. I don't like it.
Then again,
made
it
me
makes
angry.
you feel like you're doing it wrong if you're not bouncing back, or what's wrong with me? Because
For sure.
I
I was
still
like,
have these
I know.
roles, or like it felt like for me, I could, Steph, I don't know if you felt like this. I don't know if it's a C-section thing. I don't know. Maybe you felt this way too, Heather, but I felt like if somebody punched me in the stomach, their arm would get lost in my gut. It's just like, it felt like it felt like there was nothing there. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't
know what
think
I mean?
that's
It's just
just a C-section thing. I think that's
No,
like
it's so, it
having
was so
carried a child
squishy.
thing.
I remember thinking,
Got
like,
it.
this is the
So
perfect
squishy.
little place to hold my baby. It's so squishy for them.
Yes. Even today,
squishy.
like Archer's obsessed with belly buttons right now. And I have to like catch myself because he'll be like, belly button, and like go to, and I'm like sucking in my belly. And I'm like, oh God. And I'm like, please don't
like,
lift
he
my
doesn't
shirt up
care.
right now. But like,
Like, let mommy
Isn't it
flex 1
different?
second.
yeah.
Let me get into my stance. Just
Hold on,
Like,
hold on.
careful with that finger. It might get lost and sucked up in the belly button.
Good.
oh my God. For me, it might.
Yeah. Well, Jess, you haven't talked, like, how about you? Like, what was your experience postpartum after having, like, how did your body change for you?
For me right now, I'm really dealing with the mum pouch, and I can't seem to get rid of that. And I'm lost with my wardrobe right now because, like, Parker's 3.5, guys, and I feel like at this point I should have it figured out. But like I said, my body's different, and I feel like I can't really wear jeans right now because of the mom pouch, because I feel like the zipper accentuates it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So I don't know. Like Parker really, really changed it, and it's like I said, I have like side rolls now, like where like the pouch is, but then it like extends to my hips. I'm like, oh, that's a nice feeling. I have like handles if I want them. It's because like the skin is stretched.
Well,
the skin is
that's
stretched.
just
There's
it.
a little
Our
extra
skin will
padding
always
there.
be stretched.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's
We
not going to
grew
go away.
human beings.
We grew human beings. And what's so interesting is I was smaller with my second pregnancy with Parker, yet it did way more damage on my body than with Emmy, who was a huge baby. And like I said, people thought I was 45 weeks pregnant when I still had 2 months to go. So I don't know what to tell you guys, but it's such a unique experience with every baby, even if they are siblings. And just go easy on yourself, I think, is the takeaway from this episode, because there's literally nothing you can do about it.
No.
And just give yourself grace.
And
We're
like,
all in
you
the
still,
same
like,
boat.
take care of yourself and like eat well and like do things for you and like to make you feel good and to give you like energy and like happiness as a mom, because you're a better mom if you're happy, like
Filling up your
and
cup.
not about and not about like happy with my body, like happy like eating the food I want to eat and drinking and socializing with my friends, and like I
Not
just don't
worrying
have
about
time
other
right now to go to fitness classes like I did before I had a baby, and I could like go in the middle of the afternoon and go, like I have daycare pickup, I have activities, swimming lessons.
You have to make
like,
dinner. You have to figure out
I
what
have
you're
to make
cooking.
dinner. Yeah, I still have to
You
make
have to
time
make
for my
1,000
friends.
snacks
Like,
a day.
yes,
Yeah.
I still have to go to work and like take care of my
Yeah.
dog. Like it's just
Yeah.
that's not a priority right now, and maybe we'll get back to it. But
But I think it's key is the right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
Like
Right
things
now.
will change. You will
Yes,
have time
yes.
for yourself again. It's just right now you don't, but it's just now. You'll figure it out again.
Right
Yeah.
now, I'm really capitalizing on, now that it's spring again, on just getting outside for walks.
yeah,
Right? I'm just trying to walk daily.
Huge.
I'm walking Emmy to kindergarten. Like, I can guarantee you Monday I will be walking her to kindergarten, or maybe even jogging alongside her on her little bike. It's like a 5-minute jog, my max. So
Shh, you don't need to know that. I jogged
yeah,
to kindergarten with my
I
kid
went for
today.
a run. It's all right. I'm the epitome of health. But yeah, so anyways, right now I'll go for a fitness class. I try once or twice a week. But I'm just really capitalizing on those walks. So fingers crossed for big results, guys. It's
fresh
good for
air.
me.
Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, it is time to wrap up. So, Steph, thank you so much for being one of the gals here this week. We always love chatting with you. Please come back. Will you come back?
I would love to come back. I love being just one of the gals.
Just
Please,
like
the
that.
gals. We love having new gal friends. And as always, we love to hear from you. Heather, where can people contact us?
We've got a few options. You can follow us on Instagram at Just Us Gals Podcast. You can
And that's our
email
TikTok
us-
too.
That it is. You're right. Just Us Gals Podcast. And you can email us at chatwiththegals@gmail.com. We're also on YouTube as Just Us Gals. And Apple Podcasts, Spotify. That's how you can listen to
Spotify.
us. So
Perfect. Yeah, we'd love for you to follow along on our socials. We're
rate us, review us.
please rate us. Yeah, rate us and give us a review.
Only
and
if
follow
it's
along
good.
on our socials. Yo, we don't want those 2-star reviews. We might deserve it, but we don't want them.
Keep it to yourselves.
Follow and 5 stars.
yeah.
If you're going to give us
all
5
right.
stars, we want to hear from you.
Please. But anyway,
Steph,
we love you.
When we hang up, can you go do that for us? Just 5-star review?
Already done.
Done.
Not
Perfect.
really. I'm using my phone right now. After I will, I promise.
We'll trust you. We'll trust you.
Yeah, okay. Well, yes, Steph, Heather, thank you. It's always a slice, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.